This is my Ego Brat. I have a few others that I have actually made as well. So here's a nice snowman, and we have a cat, and we also have a Father Christmas. We will be making a few different ones today, but this is my all-time favourite out of the ones that I have made. We will be making different coloured ones today. Okay, what I want to show you is what you need to get started. You will need your kit, you'll need a pen and a pencil, you'll need sharp scissors, you'll need paper scissors, you'll need a pen, you'll need stuffing, a lot more stuffing than this, but you need stuffing, a stuffing tool, needle threader if you're anything like me and you can't see to thread a needle fast enough. This is a long needle, it's a dull needle. You need strong thread, you need a ribbon or something for the belt to go around your Ego Brat, and then you'll need some buttons and some, maybe a bell or a buckle, depending on what you want to put on your belt around your Ego Brat. Right, so that's what you need to get started. So we'll put all these aside, keeping our paper scissors out, and I can show you what is inside the pattern. Right, so you'll get your kit, and inside your kit you will get a needle. There is a nice sharp needle here, and 2 eyes, so you've got eyes for your Ego Brat. You've got threads that match your felt and that you'll use for your facial features. You've got your pattern. These are the pieces that you'll need to cut out and trace. These are pictures just demonstrating some of the things we do while making up our Ego Brat. Some people work better with visual pictures than words for instructions, so I've done that as well because I'm that sort of person. Then we have the paper instructions here, but at the moment today we'll be doing hands-on, so we won't need the paper instructions. We will need the pattern, but I have actually previously cut out another pattern, so we won't need that one. Here it is. I've cut it out, and I'll cut it out on a different colour felt, so you can have fun with all the different felts that you might have in your collection in your craft room. Or you can go and buy some more, because once you get started you'll want to do that. You want to trace around each piece. Here I have traced around some of them. You just grab your pen that you have put aside, put your paper pattern piece down and just trace around it. Mark the placement markings. You'll need 4 legs, 4 arms, 1 trousers, 1 base. Now, if you don't want to use the pen and do that, you can just pin them on like I have over here, cut them out. You will have to still mark your placement markings. It just makes the job that much easier. With the face and the actual body of our Ego, what we need to do is give a good trace around the outer edge. We need to mark these 2 bits here, but you just bend it over and mark there, bend it over and mark there. For the mouth, I've just pinholed and poked my pen in the little holes, and that gives a mark. I mark where each eye goes and where the nose goes, where each arm is also going as well. So once you've done all that, then you can cut your pieces out. And I have done that as well. So here we go. Oh, another coloured felt. I'm going to have a lot of Ego Brats. Okay, so we've got 4 legs, 4 arms, got the trouser and the base and the body, which includes the head. And as you can see, I have pin marked and put my pen through so you can see where to embroider the mouth. You can embroider the nose here, so on the 2 eyes, and these are the markings for where the arms are attached when they are finished. That aside. So once you've done all that, then you want to do your legs and your arms. So you put 2 pieces of felt together, you blanket stitch from here all the way around here and up here, and you do that on both legs. You leave the top open so you can stuff. That's what the stuffing tool is for. It makes it easier to stuff down here and go around curves. If you don't have one of these, you can use a pencil or a knitting needle, anything with a blunt end. As you can see, this one I've just finished. I haven't stuffed. This one I have stuffed. But you only want to stuff right up to the top, leaving the top bit empty. You can see how there's a bit empty, because what we want to do is close that, and then that gets put into a seam. Then you want to go on to your arms. This arm I've totally finished. I'll turn it over that way because you can see my little knot. Okay, so I have started here and I've blanket stitched all the way around here. And rather than knotting it here, I've poked it through to the centre where the mark was, where it's going to be placed onto the side of the egger. So you can do your little knot there, and that way it's actually hidden when it gets put into place. Okay, so my other arm, I started here, blanket stitched right around. I pause here, there's a little gap. I can use my stuffing tool to stuff the arm. Once it's stuffed the way I want it, then I can carry on up here, right up to the edge, poke it through here and do my knot here as I did on this one. That's your arms and your feet. Then it comes to the body part. You need to embroider the face, embroider the mouth, do the nose, the eyelashes, the eyebrows. You want to sew on your eyes. I've used the cream thread so it makes the eyes stand out a little bit more. Then you want to attach your trouser piece on like this, and you want to actually do a nice running stitch around it, just a loose one. This just holds it in place while we work and do all our other things. It just makes it stay and look tidy, and you'll be happier with your finished product doing this. It just keeps it all together like so. And you can pull this out if you want to at the end, but most of our work will actually cover that. So you want to carry on, you want to go all right around here, up and down like that. So we'll carry on and do this a little bit up here so you can sort of see what I mean. So it's just a big long stitches just to hold the two layers in place, like that, like so. And then you would carry on along here and up here. And then that's nice and secure so that you can carry on working and it's not going to go all skew off, and then you'll end up with a funny looking thing. Okay, so we'll put that aside now. So once you've done all that, then you're on to sewing on your legs. Here we have the leg, there's another leg, 2 arms completed, the face is completed, the trousers have been held into place with a running stitch, and then we have one leg that I've actually sewn on. So what I did is I got the leg, and you know it's only stuffed right up to about here, so we can close that up tight. So what I did was I just put it here to the edge and brought that over. Tight like this. I made sure that the foot was poking up. Brought that over like that. Then I held those together. You've got the layers, you've got the 4 layers, you've got that, and then both of those. You want to hold them tight, and then you want to stitch backwards and forwards because you want this to be tight. You don't want the leg falling out. And you want to use the same colour thread as the trousers and the leg. So as you can see with that one, you can't see any stitching. When you look over here, you can see my green stitching along here on both sides. I've gone backwards and forwards a few times. So when you split it open, you'll see 2 legs like this. Okay, so we'll just pretend that that leg is attached. We'll take that out for now. So we've got our 2 attached legs, pretending. What you do then is you bring this part here across, and you will blanket stitch from here all the way up to here. Open the back out slightly, bring the other side across, because you're finished up here. You want to carry on and blanket stitch right down to that corner. Then you go through the middle in the centre, cut off your thread, and then you want to come up here and start blanket stitch from here all the way up down here to the green. Once you get to the green, you want to finish off there, and then you want to change and get your green thread and blanket stitch the end in green. I actually sometimes trim this inside colour away a bit so you don't get any of that showing. You end up with a nice edge if you remove some of that. So you're blanket stitching basically the green and you end up with a nice flat line. Right, so that's that one. So once you've done that, you've sewn on the two legs, sewn in the two legs, blanket stitch the head and blanket stitch down there. Then we go on to our next one. The next step, because you've nicely blanket stitched across here, then down here, started here, and then blanket stitch down here. Then you changed colour and you blanket stitch down here. Then it's nicely open and you can see ready for stuffing. So you can stuff that nice and tight. Oops, throw my needle away. Then you want to do a gather stitch right around the bottom. Like so. So I've already started it, so I know I can do like that. See, it's still pretty empty. That doesn't matter. I tie it off here. Sometimes it's just a bit too hard to do that gather stitch when it's totally stuffed. So what we can do is tie it off like that. Oops, that one's got caught there, so let's bring that up there and do one more knot so it doesn't come undone. Okay, so there we are there. Okay, there's still a decent amount of room in there and it's a nice hole. So what we can do is get some of our extra stuffing, our leftover stuffing. If I can open this bag. And we use our stuffing tool and we can stuff inside that hole. And we want it to get it as firm as we can to get a nice base. And then we can actually still close it up a little bit more. I'm just using a polyester fibre for stuffing. If you haven't got any stuffing at home, if you've got an old pillow or cushion, you can use that for your stuffing. I often do that. If I have old pillows and cushions, I never throw them out. If I'm making toys for myself or my friends or my family, I'll always tell them that it's got recycled stuffing inside. You can always leave a pillow or a cushion outside in the sun and that will kill a lot of germs. Air it out, make it smell good. You can even wash a pillow and then reuse the stuffing. Many, many options. See how much extra stuffing I can get in there, but I wouldn't be able to do this if I hadn't done the gather stitch. So that is quite important, to leave the little hole, gather it up as much as I could, and then just keep stuffing until I get a shape that I like, that I'm happy with. So I think I'll probably use up what's left in this bag. I'll just poke this up here. It's looking good, looking nice and tight and smooth. Keep my gather thread there because we didn't cut that off because we're going to actually still close that hole up a bit more. There we go. Nice and tight. So what we want to do is close up that hole just a little bit more. I just go backwards and forwards. Got plenty of thread. This is where you use your strong thread. If you're using the DMC thread, I'd use probably 3 or 4 layers. You just don't want it to break when you're halfway around or get just about finished and it breaks off and you can't tie the knot. Frustrating. So that's why I've done double thickness. And when you're pulling on it, don't ever pull on the needle. Don't pull on the needle. Pull on the thread. You probably can't see me do that because it's often out of the view of the camera, but I do. I often pull the needle through and then I will hold it like that and pull. So that way I'm not cutting the thread on the needle. It's often the needle that breaks the thread because you're pulling on the edge of it and it is reasonably sharp. Just about there. Just about there. Okay, there we go. There's still a little gap, but that doesn't matter. That's what our little piece of round base piece is for, to cover that. Make that look nice and tidy. Okay. Nice pair of sharp scissors. Keep around, cut that off. Then you have your base piece like this, which you can either hot glue on, or you can just stitch it on, or you can hot glue it in the middle and then stitch it on. So that gets attached under there, and then you end up with a nice tidy bottom. But in the meantime, before we do that, I want to show you that we need to add his belt. This is the time we add the belt. Okay, I've got a nice piece of black velvet ribbon. Okay, so I would stitch it along here, then I'd pull it tight, bring it around like that, and then I would stitch it here reasonably tight as well. So once you've done that, then you have a nice tight belt on him, ready for the arms to be attached. I'll put him aside, and I have one more to do. So he's got to be finished because he needs his arms on, his belt finished to be attached, and his base to be done. This one here is showing you how we sew the arms on. Okay, so I'll pull the long needle. So that's your long needle. That's why we need the long needle. It's got to go through so many. So we've got the marker that we did, and that goes straight through to the other side where the other marker is. Okay, pull that there. See the marker? Then we poke it through an arm. Right through like that. And then we poke it back through the arm. Not the same hole. You have a bit of a gap, bit of a space. So up there and up there. A little bit of a space. Pretty much the same hole in this one. It doesn't really matter. And then you want it to come out the same mark in there. Pull it nice and tight, like that, and he has like a little bit of a, there we go, a little bit of a mark. So that's one arm on, and then we poke through this hole up here. Won't be 1 minute. Here we go, back again. Okay, so we've done that, we've sewn that on. We need to poke that through again, like that. Now you can actually go through the arms several times, depending on how tight you want them. I'm more than happy for it to just do it the once. And once you do that, come out the bottom, because that is going to be covered with that piece, so we can knot it there. There we go, make sure that that is nice and straight when you pull that arm up there. There we go, there is Mega Brat. Awesome. Okay, let's tie that off. So that's the arms. It's got a little dent. You can put beads or buttons on the outside if you like. I'm just going to knot that off. Awesome. Cut that off. Here. Now, I'm really pleased with that. That's come out really well. So what I have to do now is finish this one. There's the arms and his base. That's his base. Then I have to finish this one, but of course I won't want to put those legs on there, so I actually do have some more legs I have to stitch up for that one. Then I can finish this one, which is another one you saw me start. So you've got the legs and the arms, and we've got the base for that one. What else did I start? Let's have a look. I think that's it. Yes, I haven't really started. So we will have 1, 2, 3, 4 completed once I've sewn all these pieces up. Thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed this demonstration.